Hey, everybody, this is Eric.
I'm Daryl.
On this episode of Throwin Wrenches,
RJ gets paid.
all right, don't bother saving because Elon's got a plan.
Hey, you want to save gas money? Well, we've also got a plan.
Plans, baby. Oh, all that and more on this episode of Throwin Wrenches. Jeez. First time?
It's all right.
Are you certified to do that?
I'm a certified something.
Oh, yeah. I just started getting the drumsticks out and you chopped me off. Why do you do that?
It's time to fade out. We got a lot of ground to cover in this episode.
Yes,
Eric.
we do. Yes, we do. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for joining on the show. And if you want to participate, you can always send us an email at info@throwinwrenches.com. Daryl.
Yeah.
Daryl.
That's my name.
Daryl. And you're 50% of this show, so you have influence over these listeners.
I don't know about that, but go ahead.
We didn't get any emails. We didn't get any Spotify comments.
None?
No iTunes reviews.
You checked everything.
I checked everything. Even YouTube.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, exactly.
What happened?
We did get a new listener on the Patreon, so somebody's listening out there.
Well,
so.
that's fantastic. Welcome to the new Patreon member. I think we thanked them in our pre-show.
We did. You got to tune in
moments ago.
Yeah, the Spotify. Spotify? No, it's not Spotify. The Patreon pre-show where you can tune in. You can hear all the cool stuff. Daryl and I talked about hover mowers. I think that's what the big takeaway from the pre-show tonight was hover mowers.
That was a weird selection, but also I kind of want to see one in action.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're totally going to have hover mower racing. I think that's what's going to be the plan this summer out here.
Good.
Yeah, I think we get you and me and Gabe and maybe Jake. Maybe for Memorial Day out at Irish's place.
Maybe we just do some yard work with a hover mower and sketchy, questionable implements.
Please don't wear sandals around them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can also check us out on YouTube, and you can check us out all over the place. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. I don't know anything about that YouTube, but it's out there. Do you know Daryl Scott?
Uh-oh.
Have you met Daryl Scott? I know Daryl Scott. You know, if he had a 55 Caddy, he could be driving Mrs. Scott. She could be in the back, swinging her legs around, just talking about Daryl, maybe fawning over him.
Right.
But instead, the lovely Mrs. and him have been cruising the back roads in central Illinois as equals in whatever car he decides it's roadworthy on any given weekend. That's Daryl Scott.
Oh,
okay.
Thank you. Yeah, we got sound effects. Fantastic.
Yeah,
it's a lovely
it's
intro.
Part of my game.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Well, if you don't know my co-host, when you hear the phrase dumpster diving, well, many unpleasant images, they might come to mind. To my co-host, though, the opposite is true. Where one person's trash is another person's treasure. In some cases, it could be his very own treasure to begin with. He just forgot which refrigerator parts were actually trash and which were supposed to be keeping his prosciutto cold. He's the man who always recycles his broken appliances in an EPA-certified, approved manner. He's Mr. Eric Stahl.
Thank you.
So talk about the dumpster video for folks who aren't familiar with that.
I mean, it literally should be projects. I don't know if,
Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. As a matter of fact, I got some serious traction on that video on Facebook. So
I wondered if you didn't because you put it out there and immediately I'm like, dude, he got busted doing something? I'm like, oh, no, he just filmed himself.
Yeah, being an idiot.
It's proof.
I'm the king of self-deprecating humor. Anyway. And thank you again to Forts Toyota Pekin. They've been our longtime sponsor here on Throwin Wrenches podcast. If you don't know Forts Toyota Pekin, well, they're the coolest little Toyota store in Pekin, Illinois. You can find them on the web at www.toyota-pekin.com. You can also find them on all the interwebs and all the socials at Forts Toyota. The TikTok. There's a Snapchat, but we never use that thing. Instagram, Facebook, you name it. And I'm always posting all kinds of cool videos of the cars coming off the trucks, all the projects going on in the shop.
Yes, indeed.
New inventory. We got the coolest stuff right now that's coming in. So
you got a fair amount of trucks now. Fair amount of Tacomas, don't you?
Yeah, and 4Runners finally kind of caught up, so that's fun. Camrys are going out the door like crazy. Did you know I work at Forts Toyota? Is that a revelation?
It might be for some who are just joining us.
Yeah, no. Forts is great. If you need a Toyota, if you need a newer used car, check out their used car inventory center. And also check out online. You can do everything on the website. You can buy tires. You can find new cars. You can find used cars. You can also see all the stuff that's coming in because it may not necessarily be on the lot, but it's certainly on the website.
Beautiful.
Excuse me.
Toyota-Pekin.com, 15 minutes from anywhere in beautiful North Pekin, Illinois.
Absolutely. All right, and thanks again to those Patreon subscribers. Man, Patreon, all the goodies for those folks. If not enough. We need to do more for them, but thank you for your support. The Patreon folks keep the show going. Same thing with iTunes Premium. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for commenting. All right, so the first section of the show.
You going to do it?
Yeah.
Project. So special. Those are top quality, George Lucas level effects. I don't know.
Maybe so. Well, Projects is a section of the show where Daryl and I talk about all the cool things we're doing in our garages or maybe around our house, because sometimes it isn't always car-related, but it should be because it's a car show, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It counts. If it's got a motor or a mower, I guess it kind of counts.
So my brand new Prius, 2026. It's the Nightshade Edition. It's yellow. It's Karashi yellow. It's a beautiful car.
It's a great name.
Yeah, we plug it in because it's the Prime, and I can't think of a car that we've actually enjoyed more as a new car. We have 4,000 miles on it.
Just broken in.
Yeah, Angela lets me drive it for like a week. I don't know why. Why would my wife let me drive that car? But I did. And at the end of the week, I noticed there's a big old star at the bottom of the windshield on the driver's side.
Are you kidding me?
No, man. And here's the thing.
You don't remember hearing anything?
No, I never heard anything. And now, to be fair, this has all the cruise stuff where you can stay like certain distances between the car behind, front of you and all that stuff. Yeah. And I always set it the 1. I don't set it 2, 3, or 4.
I do the same thing though.
Yeah, and so I have to believe that me riding at 1 all the time probably created that. Now, here's the kicker. It was a week ago this happened. Mm-hmm. I gave Angela back the car a week ago. She's never said a word about it. Now, if you know my wife and you see her and you tell her about the broken windshield, I'm going to kill you, okay?
She's not guaranteed not to listen to the show.
Yeah, exactly. So she's not going to hear it, so it's going to be one of you people that tell her, so don't say a word.
Nobody's going to know.
Yeah. And that includes your wife. Okay. And you, Daryl Scott.
Your secret is safe with me and all the listeners here.
What sucks is because I work at a dealership for years and we drove older cars, never had anything really too new. The 14 Prius was the newest car we owned. I never take out auto glass insurance. I laugh at the auto insurance agent. I'm like, I'm not paying for that. I get windshields for like $99. Why would I call you? And now with a new car, with a camera, and the laser stuff and all that.
What do you think? Ballpark, $600?
Oh, I'll bet it's more than that. I'll bet you my cost, even with the dealership employee discount, it's probably going to be $700 or $800.
Yikes!
Yeah, plus labor. Yeah.
Well, let's see if she says anything.
Yeah. Well, part of me is like, maybe we should just drill it out and do the whole thing. I probably should do that. It hasn't started out too much.
Oh, like the epoxy repair thing.
Yeah.
Does that even work?
Yeah.
Does it really?
Oh yeah. There's been many times over the years where the glass guys come. I'm like, this is a scam. They charge $50, take the drill, go in like an 1/8 of an inch, and then put the stuff in there, and then and they never crack from there. I don't why that works is beyond me. Maybe we should have a glass professional on here in the show.
I'm actually curious about that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but it's just luck of the draw, right? I mean,
actually, it was karma. How did I not plan this? Daryl and I have this finely tuned script, and we always know what we're going to talk about. There's nothing original on the show until this very moment. You're getting an original story.
Raw.
So we went out to Distill like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And if you know where Distill's at, it's a brewery on the north side of Bloomington. Normal. It kind of took like a cow pasture in the middle of nowhere, past the Home Depot and past the Menards, and like made a giant brewery. It's a beautiful place, but it's out in the middle of nowhere. Well, that day, as typical Midwestern is, it's just blowing like 30 miles an hour. Crazy.
And that parking lot there's no windbreak.
No.
So when you park the car and you walk in, it's it's bad.
So we park, and I park the nose of the car to the north. The wind's blowing from the south, and Angela opens the car door on the passenger side, and the door just gets ripped out of her hands and just crushes into a car beside us.
Oh, no.
Her car's yellow, and so when she pulls the door back, it's just like 2 giant yellow just gouge marks in this door of the car next to us. And so what do we do, Daryl?
You did the right thing and wrote a letter and put
No.
You got in the car and drove off?
Yeah, we moved the car about 50 feet and faced it to the south, so that way. So
Shame on you.
I consider this rock chip
It's
karma justice.
Now that you said that, yeah, probably.
It is. It is. Yeah. If I would have written a note and I would have apologized, said, "Hey, we'll fix this for you," I would have never gotten that rock chip.
You're probably right about that. That helps answer a few questions.
Does it?
I mean, everybody's done that. I mean, I've seen my mom do that, like in a Gurney Mills parking lot. It's like, oh, dink. Oops, what happened? Oh, nothing. I'm like, you just dinked a guy's car. Let's go. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is my mom. I'm not going to say anything. She's an adult.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I get it. But then there's payback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Always.
Yes. The car god struck us down on that one. So.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that,
Yeah.
and I won't say a word to your wife.
Yeah.
So what else is going on? I
Well-
see you talk about you've got a couple of Celica convertibles.
Yeah, so
it's convertible season.
It is convertible season, and I alluded to it in the story about about Daryl Scott. But there was a big road cruise last weekend. It would have been really cool to hang out with all these old
farts,
these oldies, these geezers. No, the Central Illinois Antique Car Club, or wherever they are.
Yeah.
Cruising around, and I don't mind driving 55 miles an hour or less in my Celica. But Daryl said, "Hey, come on down. You guys can hang out with us." And I had to report back to Daryl that both of my Celicas were in the shop. The green one, the 97, the motor, I knew had been running one motor for a long time, and the motor just seized. Aiden took it back to college and just it locked up. He couldn't get the top down. I'm like, "Oh, you can manually do it."
Is frozen.
Oh, it was frozen. Yeah, it was done. So, so I had to order motors on eBay. I tried through the dealership. Couldn't get them anymore. It's an ASC conversion top on the 97 Celica. So I don't know if I could have contacted it. Is ASC even still in business?
I believe they're still around. There's also a company called Hydro E Electric that does, all they do is convertible motors, pumps, hydraulic stuff. They're pretty good about that.
The motor was pretty basic, and we've taken them apart in the past because usually what happens, there's like a shear pin that goes bad in them. But
single motor? The pump or whatever?
There's a motor on each side, and there's just basically a sawtooth, end on it. There's no cables in that roof. It's just it's all mechanical in that pivot.
Gotcha.
So one motor had basically broke the shear pin, and it was it was running, but it wasn't actually doing anything. So the one side was working harder than the other, and it locked up. And I went online. I went to Toyota. Couldn't find any motors for it. And I found a guy online on eBay who had them. Well, then I called the local machine shop. There isn't Quick Star?
Oh, yeah, Quick Start over in East Peoria.
They're gone. They're out of business.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess they've been out of business for like a year or two.
That's a bummer.
But these guys would rebuild electrical motors for you. I remember taking my starter in there, or my alternator for my tractor, my Kubota years ago. So then there's another place, Central Armature or something like that in Peoria.
Okay.
Up by Pepsi.
Oh.
No. These guys are in East Peoria up towards...
Pinecrest?
No, they're further north of the casino, up by Dixon's maybe or something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, they're ways up there, and these guys rebuild all kinds of electric motors. So I talked to him, and the owner was super kind. He was super cool, but he basically said, listen, I'm going to take these motors, and I'm going to ship them to a place in Chicago. They're going to rebuild them. He goes, it's going to be like $300 a motor. And I said, well, I get some used ones on eBay for $200. He goes, just get the ones on eBay. That's probably more trouble it's worth. Which is fine, but guess what I'm not doing? I'm not throwing away the old ones because I get the feeling with my ownership of 2 Celica convertibles, this might be a problem in the future. So I'm at the ready if I have to rebuild these things. So
that's a lot of money in terms of being able to put them in. Is it a relatively straight-ahead job?
It wasn't that bad, really.
Okay.
I mean, one of my technicians, fortunately for me, we talked about this on the pre-show that didn't exist.
Oh, yeah.
About technicians who have been around enough, who've seen things from the 90s. I mean, we're talking about cars now that are 30-some years old.
Right.
Yeah. So these Celicas, we've had them apart before. I've had motors replaced before. We've actually taken the motors apart and rebuilt them in some ways. But we're getting to the point now where I can't get a windshield. I need a windshield in 97. It's hard to get. These convertible motors, can't get them anywhere. So you got to start thinking about saving these parts that could actually be serviced, right?
So that $750 convertible parts car I sent you the other day, you still don't want to buy it?
No, I don't.
Why not?
The good news is I don't think those are going away anytime soon. I think I could still get my hands on cheap Celicas, But the windshield, now that's
convertible specific stuff. I'm with you. I get it. Like, you don't need another dead thing taking up space somewhere.
No.
But it's almost like you're probably going to keep both of those cars for, I imagine, a long time.
Yeah, the 97, the one that Aiden takes to school, is the roughest one. It's the green one with the tan top. The black one with the tan top Angela has. My wife has it for work and stuff like that. But anyway. So the green one's fixed. As of today, the convertible motors are in. We actually bought some used parts on eBay, and they're compatible with Solara and like some other models, like a Chrysler or something like that.
Okay.
They got to cut the wire harness, but it all worked. So my son's going to come down and grab that. Well, the black one, the one that we got at the yard sale because of Gabe Casey.
Mm-hmm. It was a good deal.
It was, but I had the timing belt changed. I had the front seals done.
Yeah, all last year?
Yeah, Angela drove it to work for like a week straight, and there's just oil over my driveway. The crank seal's leaking, so it's got to come back apart. My technician who did it is just beside himself because those older cars with timing belts and seals,
yeah,
they don't mind doing timing covers now.
Yeah.
Because it's just a bunch of FIPG and just smash that sucker back together, right?
Right.
But taking belts off and then pressing seals back in, not their favorite thing to do anymore.
It's a lot of work.
It is. So that's what's got to happen. And both the axles are bad, so I got to replace those, which I actually have those axles on the shelf because I already replaced the axle. I swear to God, it's like axle bingo with old Toyotas. So if you're dealing with a car from the 90s, you're likely got CV boots that are torn out. And so fortunately I have those already on the shelf.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And I tell you what, the other thing, too, I had here in my projects. Oh, no. What was the story I wasn't going to share? Oh, the fridge. You're going to make me share the fridge in the projects?
Sure.
So, folks, I don't know about you. Daryl, you're a couple of two. How many refrigerators do you have in your house?
Technically 3.
Oh, you have technically 3?
Yeah, one's a little mini beverage fridge.
No, that doesn't count.
Okay,
Full-size fridge.
2.
Any chest freezers or stand-up freezers to go along with those 2?
No, Sarah wants a nice freezer. But
oh, well, then I won't let her talk to my wife because our beer fridge in the basement went out here like a month ago.
Wah, wah. I was here when that died, and I was...
Yeah, I think you were. I think you were
crying in the corner.
Here's the thing. There's just 2 of us in the house. We're empty nesters, essentially. I would think one refrigerator and possibly a chest freezer, possibly because we're Midwesterners, and sometimes we get like, somebody say, hey, I got a half a cow. I got a sheep or something like that.
Throw in the deep freeze.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, we picked some fruit off our fruit trees. Let's throw some of the stuff in the freezer. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. When this fridge broke, I'm like, this is an opportunity maybe to shed some stuff from our house, right?
To do the Marie Kondo.
Yeah. But this was a moment in our relationship where I found out that my voice was not as powerful as the other. So I was told in no uncertain terms we need another fridge. Well, in the meantime, I went and I hired a repairman from Benson's. He came out, $85 service charge. He looked at it. He goes, well, the compressor's not kicking on. The fan's not kicking on, so I think you need a new ECU. Okay, that's fine. How much is the ECU? It says here I can't get it. Okay. He goes, but it looks here. He said, you can get it on eBay for like $70. Okay. I'm not scared to do that. So I ordered the ECU.
Yeah.
Took the top down, did all the stuff, and put it in there. Fired it up. Still nothing. Like, that sucks. And it made me wonder because it's just a dial for like the hot and the temperatures. It says it's an ECU, but I didn't see any chipboard set. Maybe there's another ECU for this thing. Anyway, regardless, after 150 deep, Angela says, let's go shop for a new refrigerator.
I think we're done with it.
Yep. So got a new fridge. And so this is a long story short. When Daryl's talking about me dumpster diving, they take the fridge that works in our kitchen. They're going to put it downstairs for the beer fridge. We're going to remove the beer fridge. I take the cheese drawer out of our existing fridge that works and a couple of the buckets out of the fridge while the repair guys are here to put in the new fridge. And then after they leave, I move everything in there. All the cheese, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I have these drawers and buckets sitting on the kitchen counter. I'm like, oh, well, that's the old stuff from the old fridge, and to get rid of it. And I walked out to the guys from Benson's, the delivery truck, and I said, hey, do you guys want these old buckets? And they kind of looked at me like I was crazy. And they're like, no, it's fine.
Just pitch them.
Yeah, just pitch them. It's garbage. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I threw them in my truck, and I went back to the dealership, and I threw them all in the dumpster. So I get home that night. And Angela's like loading the beer fridge in the basement now. Our fridge from upstairs And she's like, where's all the stuff that goes in this? And I'm like, what do you mean? And
What are you
I
talking
look,
about?
and I instantly realized, like, the cheese drawer is like this big slide at the bottom of the fridge. I'm like, oh, yeah, that.
I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm like, I may have thrown. Why would you do that? And I'm like, I thought I was doing the right thing. I didn't. And so,
Yeah.
and I knew, I fortunately, I know the dumpster didn't get cleaned out till like 4 a.m. But knowing my luck, I'd
Yeah,
get
it would have
there-
come right
yeah,
then and
yeah,
there.
Waste Management was like, oh, today's the day we come at 3 p.m. in the
It's
afternoon.
gone.
Yeah. So I literally come home, I'm home for a minute, and I get in the car and I rush back. And I got to give myself credit. I'm 54 years old. I hopped up in that dumpster and I got down in there. I was okay.
You dug it out.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Do you always have a security camera pointed at the
Yeah,
dumpster?
we do.
Okay.
We do.
And so just for laughs,
Yeah, I pulled the video.
I'm going to pull that footage of me in the dumpster getting my stuff. Okay.
You mean you wouldn't do that?
I would have done it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that before. When
I'm a whore to the media.
I've slammed my hand in the car door in the driveway before, and I'm like, oh, that was funny. A couple hours later, I'm going to see what that looked like.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Nothing broke? All that plastic, that clear plastic stuff, those drawers, nobody threw anything
No,
else on
I was
top of
actually
that?
lucky because my guy who cleans all the garbage at night, he decided that day he was going to do it the next morning. So I was really scared there's going to be 8 bags of shop garbage on top of
Right.
all that stuff.
Trans fluid.
I got so lucky, dude. But
Wow.
it still smelled like dumpster. When I put it in the car
It
and
was
drove home, you could
nasty.
still smell like that. We don't even have food at the dealership, but the
No.
garbage just smell. There's something about dumpsters that smell, right?
They definitely have a certain aroma.
I don't
to
know
them.
where its previous life was at before Fort's Toyota, but
Did you take it to the car wash and rinse them out, or
no,
how'd you-
my wife, God bless her, as women are prone to do, because men aren't. She cleans a fridge. In my entire life, I don't think I've ever cleaned a fridge. If the milk gallon was leaking,
Yeah.
I probably took a paper towel at some point in my life and like wiped out where the milk was leaked at.
and just
that-
put another one back
That's
in.
the extent of the cleaning of a fridge I've ever done in my entire life. So
You actually just reminded me. I think I need to clean the refrigerator coils of our fridge.
yeah,
I try to do that once a year. I haven't done it in a couple
wow,
of years.
well, that's very ambitious. Is it just like taking a vacuum and just
Yeah, but you got to
Okay.
like dissect the thing, and there's water lines involved. It's a lot of work. Fridges are a lot of work.
okay?
I just don't want to do it. So, but if I don't, maybe my fridge will die, and I have to go through what you went through.
Oh my God! I
I
tell
don't
you,
want to do that.
No, it sucks. We didn't get a new fridge with a TV. We didn't get it with
What?
No, we didn't get the special ice maker. We didn't get the drink caddy on the front. It's very basic.
Does it have ice and water in it?
Yes,
Okay.
it does have. We didn't even realize it comes with like a port inside where you can like press a button and get fresh water.
Nice.
Why I would use that's beyond me, but I guess we'll see. So
It's a nice extra layer of filtration.
yeah, right.
I've
And it
seen-
does have the filter thing on it. So that's the latest scam.
The filters?
Yes, everything has
Why
a
is it a
separate.
scam?
Because I have a whole house filter. I have 2 whole house. I have
It's
a
not good
whole
enough.
house, and I have a triple filter before it gets to the ice maker.
Not good enough.
Really?
You got to have it filtered 3 times.
Yeah, well, it's going to be filtered 3 times.
You have to 3 filters to replace
And then what's
now.
going to happen is 5 years from now, I'm not going to be able to get that filter anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
they'll be like,
have
it's obsolete.
Well, you just put the bypass in and call it a day.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
No, that's fine. Well, congrats on your new fridge.
Thanks. But to be fair, I told Angela tonight. I said it was very nice before you got here to go down the basement, open up the door, and see cold beer.
The beer we're sipping right here by Prairie Artisan Ales.
Is it worth mentioning?
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Peanut Butter Weekend.
By
Yeah.
Prairie out of, is it Nebraska?
Yeah.
Or Iowa?
I tell you, so every time we go to Memphis, there's a place called Joe's Wines. It's on Poplar, and they always have like a Prairie section, and they got like a Prairie gift pack. I think I paid like $80 for like 4 beers with a glass, but their
It's
beers
worth it.
their beers are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a $20 beer that we're splitting, but
It's very, very tasty. And it's cold. You actually have refrigeration, so
so there you go. Cheers to my new General Electric fridge.
I love it. You call it the ice box, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just call it beer fridge. Keep it simple down here. We're simple folks, Daryl.
That's right. Stainless steel beer fridge.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So that's enough about me. I got a caliper I got to do on the Tacoma, but I think I might have talked about that last time and still haven't dealt with
Was
it.
it hanging up?
Yeah, Aiden was actually, I thought he was roasting the clutch when he had some friends over a couple weeks ago.
You smell like, uh-oh.
Yeah, and I realized he just couldn't move the truck in the grass because I think the driver's front wheel is just like, I'm not turning.
Mm-hmm. So it's caliper time.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's easy enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's super easy for me because I just got to get to work. Actually, Angie and I drove it to Pekin one time, and it was really...
That's bad.
That's when it was hanging up. I'm like, oh, I got a problem right now. And she's like, should we turn around? I'm like, I think we'll make it just fine.
Just smoke from the left passenger side.
Whatever you do, don't touch the wheel when we get there, right?
Yeah. It's why is it glowing?
Yeah.
And then, in terms of just saving money on the other things you're working on, with gas being $5,
yeah,
you don't have any diesel things. So you're just, no, your tractor.
Yeah. Dude, I tell you what, though, because I did make this note. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Angel's new Prius is a plug-in Prius.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden's 14 Prius is a plug-in Prius. And I've never really used a plug-in on the 14. It only gets like 10 miles on a plug-in. It only takes like 2 hours to charge the thing up. It's really an afterthought. The technology in 2014 wasn't that great. The new Prius, she's got the 2026 plug-in. She can get like 35 miles, maybe even 40 if you do it right, on all EV. It takes like 11 hours on our 110. But I'm telling you, so Aiden left his car here for a couple weeks, and he's coming back tomorrow to swap out Celicas because that top. If I drive that Celica to work every day, not Celica, the Prius, the 14 Prius, I can charge it here, drive the 10 miles to work. I literally went 3 weeks here earlier this year and never put gas in a car.
So that gas motor's not really kicking on.
No. I'm going to tell you what.
It's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. And everybody can be like, oh, well, it's this or that. It's electric. Listen, I got solar at the house. We actually generate too much solar electricity. Ameren's figured out a way not to pay us for that at the end of the year. They just wash it all away. So if this means that these two cars I have that are actually sucking a little bit off the grid and I'm getting more efficiency out of the solar, I think I may have actually hit like a sweet spot for once in my life. So
take it.
Yeah.
You're lucky you have that nice commute. It's not super, super long, and you can do something like that.
Well, if Angela would just like slow down to 65 or 70, she could probably get almost all the way to work.
We both know that's not going to happen. She likes to drive fast.
She does. So anyway, loving life right now. My son wants to swap back out on the cars because I got the convertible top fixed. I'm like, dude, if I was 22 years old and gas was $4.79 a gallon, I'd be like, I'll just keep the Prius, Dad.
Yeah, this works.
Yeah. But he told me tonight that if he's going to get a wife.
Okay, so I did hear that. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't eavesdrop on all of Eric's family conversations.
I had it on speakerphone.
But I did hear something about looking for a wife and limited time and how a convertible is a key to finding said wife.
Yeah, I mean, maybe at graduation he's going to – I don't know what's going on in his head, but
is he going to propose to somebody? Has he got somebody waiting?
I can't.
It's like, I will only date you again.
You know, if the woman only wants him for his Celica, well, then she's found the right guy, likely.
He's got two. No. Hey, that's fantastic, though. Whatever works for him.
Yeah.
I will say my senior year in college is when I got a convertible again, and there was something to that. It was kind of like, like The Graduate, right?
Yeah, it's like a little freedom thing.
Yeah, it's, of course, Dustin Hoffman's character, Ben, I can't remember his name, Ben something, in The Graduate, he had an Alfa Romeo, little Spider, which is a little, arguably, I don't know, sexier, cooler than what I was driving or perhaps what Aiden is driving. But they still, convertible's a convertible. So
Benjamin Braddock,
there you go. The Graduate. So I mean, I could see Aiden driving back to Kenosha with the top down and some Simon and Garfunkel's Scarborough Fair playing.
Doubtful, but okay.
While he's contemplating what he's going to do with the rest of his life post graduation. So I wish him well, though. He's got 20 days?
Yeah, and it was a 1966 Alfa Romeo Spider 1600 because I used the Internet Movie Car Database that Daryl's talked about so lovingly.
It's a great site.
Aiden's got 3 more weeks and he graduates from college. So all of you folks who've been following along to the show, yes, Aiden's graduating college. So.
He's that old now.
Yeah.
And he's loving Wisconsin. So
yeah, he's not coming home.
More power to him.
Yeah.
They got good cheese, good beer.
He does go to the cheese
worse
world
weather
every once in a while. Yeah.
I don't know. The winter's up there, man. I don't know. rough.
All right, that's enough about me. 2 Celicas down, caliper, rock chip, and refrigerator news. So anyway, Daryl, I mean, how do you top that?
Well, you've got a lot of work ahead of you here. But no, I'm really not doing a whole hell of a lot. Like you, I do have some brake issues with a car that normally didn't have any brake issues. I took the 55 Plymouth Savoy sedan that we have. I took that out.
Is this the turquoise or the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the shiny one. I took that out to a show at Bradley University, the student chapter of the Society of Automotive Engineers.
Didn't you and I go there years ago to one of those?
Yeah, they've had it a few years. They usually do one in the spring, one in the fall. And it's a great show. The engineering students there, they usually put together like a hyper miler car, like a little Baja dune buggy thing, and they do their engineering competitions with them. And that student chapter of the SAE puts on this show, and it's really, really nice at Bradley University. So weather was a little cold, a little dicey, but I'm like, you know what? The heat works good in that Plymouth. I got the new heater valve put in. Everything's great. I'm going to take it out. I took it out. The first 2 stops were fine. Third stop, the brakes kind of felt a little mushy.
Oh.
And I'm like, I did the same thing. Do I turn around? Do I keep going? I'm like, you know what? The sun is shining. I want to get out, and I need to get this thing out for a car show. So I made sure everything was fine. I had my emergency brake handy. Car drove fine the rest of the way. Just a little mushy. I'm like, these brakes are usually a little firmer.
E-brake on an old car like that, is that just like pulling on a railroad brake, or what's it doing?
So on this one, most cars are normal. This the Chrysler stuff of the 50s and 60s, actually earlier stuff too. They put the emergency, what they call a parking brake, but it's an emergency brake too. They put it on the drum, on a drum that affixes to the back of the transmission output shaft.
Oh my!
So it's actually
but that's keeping it from spinning if you put the car in park or something like. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, and on the old cars that had automatics back then, and the push buttons that came out in '56, the push button automatics, they didn't have a parking pole, so there's actually no park. You park the car in neutral,
and then put the e-brake on.
Put the e-brake on, which physically locks the drivetrain.
Got it.
If that band is adjusted right. So it works pretty good. Actually, it's not a bad system, but it's not,
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little different. So the car drove great, and on the way home, it seemed like it kind of did the same thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get home. I'm just going to check the fluid level. Well, I checked the fluid level, and of course, it's way, way down. It's not empty, but it's way down. I'm like, okay, maybe there's a leak. Pumped everything up. Checked. I didn't pull the drums off and stuff yet, but I'm like, there's no brake fluid dripping. The wheel cylinders aren't leaking out the back or anything. I said, let me just do this. Let me bleed the brakes. Because a couple years ago, I did have to put in a new hydraulic brake light switch. The switch for the brake lights in the back is driven off a little hydraulic switch that screws into the master cylinder. And I did replace that. And I'm like, well, maybe there was error. I don't know. I'm trying to make excuses. I'm like, I'll just bleed the brakes, top it off, and see what happens. Adjust everything. Sarah helped me adjust it all. Used my little vacuum bleeder tool. Topped everything up and got back in the car, and the brakes go right to the floor. I said, this is worse than it was before. And right around that time, I look, and up on the firewall by the brake pedal, I see a little bit of what looks like oil, but kind of a brown residue. And I'm like, I bet it's leaking past the seal in the back of the master, and it's just dripping in the firewall into the car. I'm like, son of a
under
gun.
the carpet.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I didn't even bother. I said, I know I've got a rebuild kit. I know I've got a couple wheel cylinders in the garage. And I redid all this 10 years ago when I got the car. Everything was brand new. Everything.
Man, you're a trooper.
And I'm like, you know what? 10 years is about the life expectancy of all this replacement stuff.
Yeah.
I did this a couple years ago with the 47 Chevy. The brakes were shot. We did all that in 2011 when we got the car running. And it just, the new stuff sucks.
Yeah.
And so all those seals and all that, they're just shot. So I shotgunned everything on the 47 a couple years ago. I just did that. I went on Rock Auto. I'm like, oh, new master cylinder, $55. Wheel cylinders, $8 a piece. They were real cheap. And then I got a set of real nice Reliant shoes with a nice softer compound. So I have all that in the garage right now. I'm just going to do the whole thing, and it'll get back up on the road. But it pissed me off because I actually had, before the Bradley show, the week before, I changed the oil, checked everything, flushed the coolant. Like, I got all the other stuff going, and the brakes were fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, great, now I got this. So when I get the brakes done, the car's ready for the season.
Got it.
But it just cheesed me off.
So did you drive it to the Bradley show?
I drove it there, drove it home, and then it's just been sitting in the the garage ever since. So, that said, our car club's first tour, kind of a spring dust-off tour.
The one I want to go to. But you were so nice to roll out the invitation for.
Well, I think you would have had fun. You could have brought a new car, too, or just tagged along.
The yellow Prius, that would have been great.
Sure, why not? But I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to take the old Chevy. We don't drive that as much as we used to because we got too many cars now. I said, I pulled that out of storage. Didn't put a trickle charger on it this year. Checked the oil. Everything's fine. Coolant was fine. I said, I'm just going to fire it up, and what it'll be, it'll be. I fired that thing up, and it just happy as a clam, and aired up the tires, and I took it on, I don't know, maybe like a little 50, 60-mile tour. Mm-hmm. Car did flawless.
Nice.
I'm like, why don't I drive this more? Like, the Mopar stuff, the Plymouth, she's a beautiful car. I love it. Mm-hmm. Never going to get rid of it. She's a very special car to me, and Sarah loves her too. Every season, there's some bull crap with it where it's just, there's something. It's like, guess what you're working on? That Chevy, I could leave that. I bet you I could come 3-4 years and fire it up, and the thing would just kick off.
What year is it?
47.
47, okay.
Yeah, Fleetline Sportmaster sedan. So it's a four-door.
Well, I'd like to say, it's more primitive, so it should be easier to work on, but there's not that much difference between a 55 and a 47, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
In a lot of ways, they're very, very similar. But that, for whatever reason, that Chevy is just happy to... My buddy Greg said, that car loves you. Because it's happy to see me.
Yeah.
And Sarah's driven it before. She's driven it on fall tours before by herself, and it's a great car.
It used to be when you guys came to Cars and Coffee, you guys would come with these two cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she had like the flags and everything all over the Chevy, right?
Yeah, sometimes. When we do like the 4th of July parade in West Peoria, and we kind of dress it up a little bit. But no, it's a great car. We did the Illinois Valley Antique Auto Club. We did a nice little tour last Saturday through parts of Tazewell, Woodford County. It's kind of back roads.
Yeah.
The guy that led it had a 24 Model T two-door sedan. And he's like, I just want to do a slower tour for the older cars that really don't do 50-mile-an-hour highway speeds, stuff like that. And we'll just do some 2-lane blacktop back roads. And so if you have an older car, it'd be fun to get out. This dude set the pace, and he was hauling. He was going like 45, 50 in that thing. And if you ever been behind a Model T, I mean, they don't go that fast. This dude was hauling you-know-what. But it was through all this really cool stuff, like 10 Mile Creek Road, right around the Tazewell, Woodford County line, kind of East Peoria, behind the old Caterpillar Proving Grounds. And I mean, just a really neat part. I've lived here 20 years. I haven't seen parts of that.
Midway Duck In. Because all those back roads, like all the way up there, if you cut through Metamora and all that.
Was it Low Point or Washburn, kind of out that way?
Yeah, it's fun up there.
Gorgeous.
There's like this moraine where the Illinois River comes down through, and it's like there's not a straight line along the river.
Yeah, it very much reminds me of like Wisconsin, like the Kettle Moraine region.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where you're like, was this a lake? Was this what? Because it's just rolling hills, beautiful. If you're a bird watcher, which my wife is, and my mom too, but she was taking pictures of like orioles and all kinds of other beautiful birds out there, or eagles flying out in the bluffs. So it was awesome, and I love doing that because if we were on a more modern car, like the 70 Fury, that goes on the highway. It goes 70, 75.
Yeah.
You're not taking that slower approach and doing those back roads like you used to. So I really enjoyed our trip, and I think we had like 17 people show up. I was really, really impressed.
Yeah.
And including a younger kid, some younger guy over in East Peoria, or Spring Bay, rather, who had a 1931 Ford stake bed pickup that he restored.
Oh, nice.
And it was just a beast. I'm like, beautiful oak, that oak stake bed, kind of beautiful truck. And I'm like, man, I need something older and slower. And Sarah's like, we're not buying anything else slower. You got enough work to do. So those are my two projects, the 55 Plymouth and, of course, the ongoing Cadillac saga. I will start working on that now that the weather's a little nicer.
So the Cadillac, the one you won at the auction from the Peoria Heights?
West Peoria.
Okay. And it's a roller, but it has no brakes.
Has no brakes. I need to do brakes there. I have all the parts on that. But I need to run new lines.
Four-wheel drum, power assist. I have the power unit, a weird Bendix Hydrovac setup that's been rebuilt already. So the weird element that I didn't know anything about. Yeah.
I have an older guy out in California who that's all he does is restore those. Mm-hmm. I had that done right when I got the car because I'm like, I don't know how. Kind of like we were saying. there's a limited group of people that know how to rebuild them, and they're all 85 plus years old. So he's like, oh, yeah, send it to me. I'll do it for like $425. So he rebuilt it for me. So that's good to go. The rest of it is wheel cylinders, brakes, shoes. I mean, easy.
Now, didn't that car have like a Frigidaire air conditioning system?
Yeah.
Does that work?
It's still got an R12 charge in it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I haven't had it running long enough to try to engage it.
Okay.
The car does run, and I did fire it up again last year. It just doesn't run great.
Okay.
And I still think I'll probably end up pulling the heads on the car.
Yeah, because that sat so long, the pistons are probably collapsed or something like that.
Yeah, the valves. I think the valves are frozen in the guides and stuff. So I could probably try to soak it and just run it and see what happens. I think I would hurt it more. And just pull the heads and have a valve job done. And,
Jeepers.
Yeah, it's just more work than I want. But you know how it goes, man. The old stuff is fun when it runs. When it doesn't, you're like, what am I doing with my life?
I had a friend of mine today. She said something because I loaned out my car and the floor mat was out of the driver's floor. And she goes, why is that? And I said, well, there's a water leak from the windshield. And I said, I got to get that fixed. She goes, why don't you get it fixed? I'm like, well, do you know the expression, the painter's house always needs painted?
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah. And she goes, I get it. I'm like, it's one of those things. I'll take care of a customer's car 100 times over before I'll worry about my demo.
Yeah.
You know, which shame on me because now the car smells like mildew because
it's got that. You can always tell too when somebody comes to trade in a car or you're looking at a used car. You're like, oh, yeah, there's some water in here. You can tell.
Oh man, I tell you what.
It's all right, man. Just put one of those pine tree air fresheners.
Yeah, that'll do it. Or one of the Throwin Wrenches air fresheners.
Those did smell good, by the way.
It was clean linen, I think.
Is that what it's called?
That was the flavor, the nose flavor.
I've been buying those ones. What's it called? Is it black ice?
Yeah. No, you're not. You're not buying the black ice ones,
dude. I love it. I bought it ironically.
I thought that was for people who vaped.
Well, it does kind of smell like you're covering something up. No, that Derek Bieri from Vice Grip Garage. That was a running joke. Anytime he'd fix something up, he's like, got to put the little air fresheners in or whatever. And he would buy those. That was the one he liked. And I'm like, well, I know what the pine tree one smells like. That smells terrible. I know what the fake new car smells like. That smells even worse. I wonder what black ice is like. And Menards around Christmas time had they were on sale. They were like 99
Trust
cents.
me, I get into a million cars every day.
They're great.
Some of them have like 20 of those black ices in them.
They just stack them up. No, I started buying them, and I'm like, I don't mind the smell now. Yeah. I don't put them in my dailies. I put them in the old stuff because the old stuff smells funky.
You won't be able to smell anything for the rest of your life. You're like,
if you bought an air freshener, you might be entitled to compensation.
All right, before we get on to the news of the world,
yes,
I wanted to share this. I don't know if you guys get clickbait. I get clickbait, and every once in a while I'm sitting there on the couch and Angela's already gone to bed, I'm like, you know what I want to do? I'm going to click on this clickbait and see what's going on here. And this is a perfect example. I think it was on like The Guardian or The Independent or something like that. And you can give me a tap of that. But this is a great beer. But no, that's enough. All right,
it's fantastic.
You got the rest. There was an article. It said the best trick to save money when filling up. I'm like, oh, this is timely. This is cool.
Sure, I like to save money. Sure.
It's a guy taking a bottle of WD-40 with the straw on it and putting it into the gas tank of his car. This is Consumer Reviews Guides. Well, first off, it's not a real ad, but I'm like, I'm going to click on this because I want to know what snake oil they're selling. And honestly, what's the point of the WD-40 bottle on there if it's not going to actually be part of it, right?
Clickbait. I'm looking at the URL. Fuel Savers Are Us?
Yes. FuelSaverReus.consumerreviewsguide.com. So
seems legit.
It's a trending product, and I followed the link. I'm going to share this picture with you guys. I certainly don't want you guys to do this, but I'm doing the investigation so you don't have to. $5 a gallon and climbing. With global tensions pushing prices higher, American drivers are quietly turning to this secret trick. This is written by Matt Bernard on October 4th, 2026. Is that even possible? No. It'd be 410. Okay, sorry. It must be European, so you know it's legit. Soaring fuel costs are putting the strain on millions of U.S. households, but the new technology from automotive electronics now make it possible for every driver to cut their fuel consumption by up to 55% simply by plugging in this small device.
Huh.
Yeah. So I'm going to save you a lot of grief. There's probably an AI photo of this guy holding up this little device. It's called SynGas. It's got a 4.9 rating with 2,800 reviews Although I can't really, it's not an Amazon review because I click on the stars. I don't know where that's going.
Yeah,
This
not
is
good.
James Carter. He's holding up the device. He's a former senior engineer specializing in engine control systems. He's considered an insider in the automotive industry. Are we insiders, Daryl?
No, not exactly.
Apparently not. Okay, for over 20 years, he worked with a major American manufacturer developing the software that tells your engine exactly how much fuel to burn, when to burn it, and under what conditions. And what he reveals about the process has stunned thousands of American drivers who thought they had no option but to keep paying more at the pump. The hidden savings mode in your car. He explains it like this. When your car leaves the factory, the engine control software is programmed for the lowest common denominator. The same engines that have run well in Arizona desert has to run well in the Minnesota winter. It has to handle regular gas in rural stations and premium gas in city stations. That seems like a slam on us, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah, okay. It has to work at sea level and at 10,000 feet above the Rockies. To be safe, all these conditions, manufacturers deliberately leave a massive amount of efficiency on the table, and Syngas addresses this exact issue. Well, let's cut to the chase. For $39.95, you can buy this little device. It's a little green box you plug into your onboard diagnostic port, OBD port, and supposedly, and I scrolled down to the intelligent tuning chip. I don't know if you scrolled down to this, Daryl.
No, I haven't clicked on it.
Oh, it's pretty great. So it's got like these pictures of all the different parts of the chip and what they do. You know, you got the fuel efficiency MCU, the energy saver connector.
This green thing, I'm seeing it show up at even Walmart sells it, by the way. Wow.
Anyway, I think Daryl, on a lark, I want to buy this for $39.95 and do a test run on it. What do you think?
On what vehicle would you trust something that alters your?
Ooh, could it blow up my car?
I don't know what it
Well,
does.
okay, here's the deal. My 4Runner has gotten 16.1 for like 4 years straight.
Okay.
If I put this on the 4Runner and it goes to 16.2, I might think there is something to it.
So you got baseline data you can then compare.
Oh, I
to.
totally have baseline data because that truck has never gotten better than 16, no matter what I do.
So what's the cost? $39?
$39.95. Do you think we can spend $39.95 out of the Throwin Wrenches coffers to try out this experiment? Do you have a car? Would you try it on your Tundra?
Absolutely not. But here's the other fun part. Walmart's selling this for $7.99. Yeah. So how
is it in the as seen on TV aisle?
It might be. It might be. $10.31. There's a couple listings now. Yeah. See.
Well, then why would I pay $39.95 here?
That's what I'm saying. Walmart, $10.31.
We could buy 3 of them for $10.
We could do 3 cars.
We could get one to Gabe too.
Yeah.
Or Jake.
Let them QA this and see if it works.
All right, I'm down. I'm totally doing it. I'm getting on Walmart.com.
Okay.
All right. And what we'll do, folks, we'll give you a full review.
Maybe they'll sponsor a show. Didn't we have a sponsor one time that had some OBD2 thing?
Yeah, we made them pay to be on here, too. I'm sure they regretted that decision for the rest of their lives.
They shut it off after like 2 months, so... Anyway,
all right, let's move on to the real news of the world. In the news.
Hard-hitting stuff.
Man, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
World news. Foreign car makers threaten to pull the cheapest models from the U.S. without a trade deal. This is going to be a short and sweet article because it was in the Wall Street Journal, and they said you don't have permission to read this article. Some companies say affordable models are reliant on renewed U.S. Mexico-Canada Agreement. Foreign-based automakers have warned the Trump administration that they are looking at pulling their cheapest car models out of the U.S. market if the U.S. Mexico-Canada Agreement is not renewed or is watered down, according to people familiar with discussions. Companies such as Nissan, Hyundai, and Toyota are among the few car makers that offer U.S. consumers new models of small and affordable vehicles after the Detroit automakers ditched such cars in recent years in favor of SUVs and trucks.
True statement.
So this year, I did my taxes, and I had an option to save money on my taxes if I would have bought a car that was built and assembled in the United States. And Angela looked at me and she goes, "Hey, I got a new car. Where was that Prius built?"
What'd you say?
I had to say it was built in Japan.
What? Yeah. Sorry, it's not a Chevy Traverse. or whatever.
I mean, I don't feel bad about it. I mean, I'm honoring the company I work for. It'd be one thing if I worked at Toyota and I'm like, I bought a Traverse.
Yeah.
But no.
That would not go over well.
No, I did not save anything on that.
But it can't be that much of a write-off, is it?
I don't know.
Or
I think
tax credit.
I think it was a tax credit. I don't know how much it would have been.
So the only experience we had with this was in 2009. We bought a little Jeep, and it was when the Chrysler bankruptcy was going on. They're like, if you buy any Chrysler product this year, you can write off the sales tax or something.
What a crony capitalism that is.
But it wasn't. It was like nothing though.
No, it was like the George Bush $600 and you had to pay it back.
I think it was 500 or 600 exactly.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big deal. So I'm like, what the hell? I will say we did get a good chunk of money back this year from putting a new furnace and air conditioner in, like an energy credit.
Every year that we've ever done it, so we did the Geo at the house, we did the solar at the house, and Windows, always apply for all those credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And if you don't take the money, you're stupid.
Well, yeah, exactly. Interesting, though. We keep hearing that from people. I don't know. We keep hearing. I'm making up. People are saying, no, they're not. But a lot of folks have said, anecdotally, two things. When are automakers going to give us cheap pickups again?
Yeah.
Which I'm all about. And two is, why can't we just get a small, cheap, like fuel-efficient car? I don't want to buy a truck. I don't want to buy an SUV. The data shows people do. Data shows in the U.S. people don't want to buy a Ford Focus. That's why Ford stopped selling them here.
Yeah.
They don't want to buy a Chevy, whatever, a Aveo, or whatever the hell, Spark. They don't want to buy them.
Yeah.
They sit on the lots. There's still companies out there like Hyundai, like Nissan. I think you can still get a Sentra or a Versa, and you can buy the little small Hyundai Konas or whatever they are. So you can buy something that's under $30K. That's a nice, fuel-efficient, small car.
Yeah.
But they're just not selling a ton.
I think
of them.
there's like bloat at the top on the domestic auto manufacturers. If you sell a Tahoe, if you sell any of the SUVs like a Blazer and all that stuff for $40,000, $50,000, $80,000,
yeah.
Our markup at the dealership, is usually 8% or something like that. It's not huge. It used to be, you could make $3,000 on a $30,000 car. It's not even that much anymore. So
No.
I would say it's probably more in the 7 or 8%. So if we can get people to buy more expensive trucks and cars, that are way up there, well, nobody's going to pay much more than 30 or 40 for a sedan, unless it's a luxury car like a BMW or something like that, right?
And even that's hard. I mean, Audi's probably going to be getting rid of some of their sedans they're selling here because they don't sell.
So the American manufacturers have gotten really reliant on big profits in these trucks. And if the dealership's making that much money, how much is the manufacturer making on these cars, right?
Yeah.
But to that point, so I remember back when I was a salesman, we would sell Tercels and these small cars, and it was literally like $800 markup in a new car. It's nothing. And the dealers don't care about those cars. The manufacturers aren't making that much. They're like, I could sell one Tahoe to 4 Yaris's or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's not worth it.
So that's the business model. But the problem is, if you don't make those cheap cars, all these people that are getting out of college, all these teenagers, all these people who want economy cars, they don't get a foundation with your manufacturer to buy cars later on.
Right.
Everybody's got to graduate to some point. They got to keep moving up. So
That's true.
I think that's where they missed the boat. They just assumed, people are going to keep paying $80,000 for trucks.
I think back to where, when Sarah and I were young and, right before we got married, she's like, I need a car. I need to go to work. I need something more reliable. I need something whatever. She went out to a Chevy dealer and bought a Cavalier.
Yeah.
Ha ha, funny, but it's, this is 20-some years
Cruise
ago.
was that car too.
Cruise was that way. Corollas were selling dime a dozen. I mean, everybody. Neons, Escorts, or later Focuses. I mean, every model, entry-level model was that stepping stone into the brand.
Yeah.
And that doesn't exist today. So if you're coming out of school, you're like, hey, I need a nice fuel-efficient car. What are you going to get? Here's a $43,000, whatever.
But we have this joke at the dealership all the time because I have people who complain like, oh, why are we doing tires? Oh, so many oil changes, losing money on this. We have to have the basic services. We have to provide the basic services to get people to come in to spend more money on the bigger services and to come in and buy cars. Yeah, we don't make money in oil changes. Why do we do 100 oil changes a day? Because we love doing oil changes? No, because it's all part and parcel of the ownership process to keep people loyal to your product, right? Yeah. If we were to sit there and go, customers are a real nuisance. let's only take the big stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what the big three are doing. You know, they're like, we don't want the unprofitable stuff. We just want the stuff that pays us good. And that gamble is not paying off, I don't think.
In the long term, probably not. And you look at other countries. Other countries, you go and you know, they're not driving.
No.
For a multitude of reasons, they're not driving F-150s and, you know, as a daily driver. But the consumer behavior's still got to be the same. Younger folks still want to have something that's affordable, cheap to run, easy to park, doesn't take up a lot of space in an apartment lot. Yeah. I don't see that.
Or you don't freak out when it gets a door ding or somebody backs it. I mean, you don't need to have a $50,000 BMW, you know, is your daily driver, right?
Exactly.
Especially if you live in an apartment complex.
Yeah, the world's a different place now, especially when you're looking at younger folks, younger consumers, and the world that they're having to navigate. I would just, I don't know, man. I got a lot of thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, no, I think the big three kind of screwed that up. Now, this Carlos Ghosn article, you and I talked about it pre-show.
Yes.
How do we not have that song number one on the?
It should be saved.
It should be on the file. It's not, so I feel terrible about that.
I don't know where it is.
So somehow something came up on cleantechnica.com, which is just one of these opinion websites. But was Carlos Ghosn truly a visionary of EVs? And I'm just going to cut to the chase. This person gives all the reasons why Nissan struggled, this and that. But yes, Carlos Ghosn was the best thing in the world since sliced bread. So anyway, I'm moving on because I really hate the article. I'm going to let Daryl go on to the gas article.
That's fine. Carlos Ghosn, interesting guy. Just anytime you bring up his name, you're like, that guy was funny. Former Nissan and Renault CEO.
Yeah. Actually, and we had a I think we had a cooler theme song than actually Carlos is cool.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's.
I think I'll put that in.
True. There. So this is an article. We're skipping ahead to national news on the national front. This is an article that showed up on Jalopnik, everybody's favorite automotive website.
I haven't read that one in a while.
No, it's been a while. And I did send that to.
It's been a while.
Thank you. Every show now. I sent this to Eric the other night. Hey, man, did you know there's only 25 days worth of oil supply left here in the U.S.?
Wow, that's oddly specific.
Yeah, but hey, Jalopnik says don't panic, so we should just not panic. The article posted a couple days ago here, and this is in the very end of April 2026. With the flow of oil through the Strait of Hormuz down to a trickle, many countries are on the verge of running out of fuel. The United States has about 25 days of oil supply. However, it's extremely unlikely the country will ever run out of fuel. The larger issue is the U.S. cannot isolate itself from the global market indefinitely. Meanwhile, as prices soar in Europe, American producers will be tempted to export more of their oil for higher profits. Americans are feeling the pinch at the pump, blah, 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 blah. Everybody kind of knows the way of the world here currently. But what they do talk about is it's the age-old thing where, sure, oil is it's a global commodity, right? The U.S. still does have a lot of strategic oil reserves. We're sitting on a lot of them, and we are the world's leading oil producer. However, we still need to import our oil for gas, and we import our diesel, or oil for diesel, because of the refining process, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's what I've read, and somebody will school me here, but I think it's because we don't have the refining capacity that we used to back in the day. So,
well, because the refining process is the ugly part that nobody wants on their shore, right? I mean,
there's probably
Houston and Louisiana and all these areas where all these refineries are at. People are like, oh no, that's not pretty.
Right.
Yeah.
We had a big one up. It was still there, but Whiting, Indiana, was Standard Oil's old refinery, and they've had all kinds of issues. They've had some accidents. They've had to throttle back a little bit. But the U.S. is still sitting on a ton of gasoline, 413 million barrels of crude in reserves. And, we could, in theory, export a little less, keep more here, tap into what we have. But
that's not the way the global economy works, Daryl.
Not at all. Not at all. And the only reason I know a little bit of some of this is I took a class in college that was all energy and earth resources. I failed geology 101 or 110 because rocks. I mean, dude, it's boring, right?
Hey, no, my daughter was a rock nerd, so
they're pretty when they're polished. I don't know.
It's totally nerddom.
It's cool stuff, but I did take a course that was on energy and earth resources, and the guy that taught it was at the time, when he wasn't a professor at Western Illinois University, he worked for Amoco as a consultant.
Oh, nice.
Traveled the world. He was in the Middle East. He was all over. Really interesting guy. But he basically said, for the rest of our lifetime, don't ever let anyone tell you that we're going to run out of oil on this planet Earth. We will never run out of oil. We will only run out of the amount of money we were willing to spend to extract it from our under the earth.
Yeah.
And he's like, strategically, it doesn't make sense in certain times, and other times, it's worth gold. It's gold, right?
Yeah.
But he's like, don't ever tell you that we're going to run out.
Yeah.
We're not going to ever deplete that. And I thought to myself, well, as a car guy, hey man, that's cool. We're always going to have oil, man. We're always, internal combustion forever. But there is something to that effect, though. What does it cost? It costs a lot of money to drill. It costs a lot of money. There's the environmental impact. There's the refining things. There's the shipping things. I don't ever, just like the chip shortage, even if something changes, we're not going to be reactive and be like, oh, we'll turn this pipeline on and get, your gas is now $3 again.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen that way. So let me ask you this. With the fluctuation of price, and as I say this, I remember coming over tonight, gas is about $5 here.
In $4.79 I paid today. Yeah.
Okay, so it's creeping up. Some parts of the country it's already 6.5. With taxes out west, I think it's almost $7. Europe's paying 10.
Yeah.
But
I mean, to be fair, they've already trained most of their citizens. I mean, I think about that hour-long trip I took out to Tivoli was €3. I guarantee you the trip to Tivoli hasn't changed any because of gas prices.
Yeah,
maybe it has, but even so, they have alternate transportation. If you wanted to work in Peoria and live in Pekin, there is a bus you could take.
You could,
but it's not convenient. The times suck.
I see guys too, people that work at the Rivian plant or State Farm in Bloomington, and they're like, "Hey, I'm seeing more of this."
Are you seeing
ride shares?
Yes, yeah. I've seen it too. It popped up all over my feed. Hey, I'm working at Rivian.
You want to carpool? Anyone else go in there?
Oh my God, Angela used to carpool all the time back in the day. It's funny how people all of a sudden are like, I don't need to have my car to drive to work every day. There's something to be said about a little practicality. I mean, my God, this gets back to the whole thing about, we're so spoiled.
And insulated.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. There was a time when she would drive to Champaign to go to college. She'd ride with like 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they'd do their classes and they'd ride back together. Nowadays, people are like, I'm just going to drive myself.
Nobody does that.
Yeah,
no,
right?
I want to listen to what I want to listen to.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to stop and...
It is weird because I never really thought about that until you just brought it up right now. But
well, it's true. I think back to my grandpa used to take the Metro train from the Chicago suburbs into downtown, work at Illinois Bell for many, many years. He had a carpool group. He had people would come pick people up, go to the train station every day, drop them off, 4 or 5 guys at a time.
Yeah.
And they'd rotate. And that was because they all grew up with that same mindset of, hey, I'm going, you're going to the same place.
Yeah.
We just save money.
Yeah.
And that was smart. And nowadays, like you said, it's just, it wouldn't even cross my mind to invite other people like, hey, I'm going to the same place you are.
Yeah.
I would never think
it's
that.
Weird because, again, getting back to, we overshare, but we don't want to have other people in our space, or we don't want to share things. It is weird. I don't know.
Yeah, humans are weird.
Great. Thanks for bringing that up, Daryl. I never even thought about that part.
Welcome.
Now, I will say we did get an email from Toyota today, and I shared it with Daryl earlier. Toyota basically said, hey, because I can't remember the language they used, because of the economic uncertainty.
Did they count it as supply chain?
Supply chain uncertainty or something like that.
Yeah,
they want to say the war in Iran. But they said, basically, we're going to run out of 08. And our policy...
Is that like hybrid? Is it more common than hybrid
it's
stuff?
pretty much everything. Anything that's like a 26 and newer is getting 08.
Okay.
So we're going to run out of 08. So here's the deal, folks. You want to keep your warranty intact in the car, we'll allow you to do every other service with 016. And so like, oh, that's great because we stock 016 too. I mean, at Toyota, we stock 08, 016, 020. We got 030 in quartz now. That used to be the primary oil for everything. And maybe a 530, and that hasn't seen anything
for
in
the
forever.
old stuff.
Yeah. But what's going to happen is it's going to snowball. I mean, once you start taking away the 08, start taking away from the 016, well, all of a sudden we're going to be down on 016 because we don't stock that much of that, right?
I would think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, all the economic tea leaves act like this whole jaunt in the Middle East will be gone, in a couple weeks or a couple months or something like that. But I mean, realistically, we have not yet. This just came out, and other things that happen too. I mean, a lot of times the recycled oil that we use at the dealership, right now, we barely have to pay to get rid of it, or we can kind of get rid of it for free. we're going to get back to the point where if it starts getting that high again, there'll be people like calling me like, hey, how much you want for your oil? Which is awesome for me.
Yeah, but what are they doing with it? Filtering it?
Yeah, but what am I getting? I'm getting like $300 or $400 a week at the dealership for it. It's not paying. It's helping me a little bit, but realistically, that means things are really bad on the outside if used oil is going for that much money, right?
Yeah, and there's also that other. People start doing some sketchy things.
Yeah.
I've already seen several accounts on social media that I follow, mostly old diesel truck guys and, kind of I'll say not the whistling diesels of the world, but like the folks that are like, hey, you want to know how to make diesel fuel in your own home? I'm like, okay. You get some used motor oil and get some
That was the whole thing
methanol.
for a while there. People were making their own, yeah.
Yeah, and they're doing it in like unapproved containers in a garage in a house. It's that kind of stuff where I'm like, is this where we really should be?
No,
spending our time on?
Totally shouldn't.
And some of them are like they're doing it in a house with like a family in it. Like if you want to do your stuff, out in the woods in the middle of nowhere, fine.
Yeah.
For science, right? I've done that. I mean, everybody does some weird, sketchy stuff once in a while. But I'm like, if this is your primary means of like, I haven't paid for fuel in 6 months because I'm like, this isn't smart. This isn't good. Don't do this. So it's kind of like it's the automotive equivalent of, natural gas is real high, so I'm just going to use the oven to heat my house.
Yeah.
Or 2 space heaters.
Yeah.
With a frayed extension cord. Don't do that stuff. Be careful out there, folks.
Yeah, that's brilliant. All right. Teslas are not aging. Oh, no. Teslas are aging like old smartphones, and you can't upgrade them. This is an article that just came out on Axios. A lot of weird places we're drawing articles from lately. Right?
Weird. I like to use we as if you're not weird. Like you're on the dark web, I think. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, go ahead. Axios.
Tesla's admission that millions of its older cars can't support the full self-driving underscores a new reality. Software-driven vehicles are starting to age like smartphones, but without an easy upgrade path. Why it matters? Cars last far longer than phones, about 13 years on average, setting up costly headaches as their hardware struggles to keep up with the rapidly evolving features. And we'll share that link on Axios. You and I have talked about this for years.
About when they age.
Yes,
yeah.
About EVs specifically.
Uh-huh.
I actually had a long conversation with somebody about the 5th-gen 4Runner and some of our older Tacoma trucks with the 4-liter, normally aspirated, no turbo, and how that vehicle can go 400,000 or 500,000 miles and never need an upgrade, never need software updates. I mean, obviously it's basic.
Yeah.
But what's the price of admission for, an older 4-liter truck versus buying a Tesla and then for $80,000? Say you bought a Gullwing, say you bought an X.
Yeah.
And you got free charging and all that stuff, and you drove that thing for a couple of years. But once they stop supporting it like your iPhone, well, I can go in the Verizon store and I can cash in that smartphone, right?
Yeah.
What do you do with your Tesla when the software starts getting to the point where they won't support it?
Yeah, and what does that look like? That's my thing is, I mean, we've all run something where it's past their end of life, right? I mean, I still, up until about 3 years ago. Well, not hover mowers. I'm just thinking computer, in the tech space, something that's relatable. I've got a Roku 2 out in my garage. It's slow. It's clunky. I'm using it to power.
Okay, what are you watching on the Roku?
I'm using it to power an old CRT in my garage so I can get YouTube. I can stream Pandora. I'm using it as like a little converter.
Okay, because it doesn't do digital TV.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I'm like, but
it's got an RCA on it.
It's got RCA out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it works great.
Yeah.
But it's slow and it freezes up, and I got to reboot it a few times, and I'm like, last summer I had it. Anytime I had it on, the thing was just like hot. It was like 200 degrees when I touched it. I'm like, this thing's probably should just get rid of it. But they're still supporting it somehow. And everybody's run a smartphone where it's like, you're not getting any more updates.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll just use it to stream music while I'm out in the garage, or I'll Bluetooth something.
Yeah.
And, So you come up with this like weird adaptive use where you're like, I'm not ready to get rid of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't do everything I want, and I'm not getting any support, but I can't get rid of it. So you still have it doing kind of these menial tasks. Maybe that's where some of these EVs, like these Teslas in particular, if you can still power it up, go get pizza, Go run to the
maybe
mall. I don't know what.
I don't know, because I've looked online before what the battery pack would cost or what the drive motors would cost after they're out of warranty, and generally it's so prohibitive, and there's nobody making like cut rate parts. It's not like you can run down to Napa and say I want a drive motor for a Tesla, and oh by the way, it's a quarter of the manufacturer price.
Go on, Temu.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
find some parts.
yeah.
Well, and they've also been historically very. If you don't do our stuff,
yeah. Rich rebuilds, which we talked about, God, 5 or 6 years ago with that guy, right? Yeah.
So I don't know. Unlike some of the internal combustion cars, when these things age, there's other technological considerations, and it is interesting. So far nobody, even like Fisker with the Ocean, they went out of business, but there's some other company they handed stuff off to. They gave all the software to, and they're like, you guys can handle it from here.
Yeah.
And they're still supporting, firmware updates, things like that. So even in the worst case scenario where the manufacturer walks away entirely, they're like, yeah, we'll still kind of support your stuff for the time being. We actually haven't seen, unless I'm missing it, we actually haven't seen an automaker say, done, period. You can't drive them. Shut it down. Have we?
No. And what is the line? 10 years? What's the mandated support before you go?
For
When you do
parts and
bankruptcy,
stuff.
it's like 10 years, right?
I think so. I think it's 10.
So Lucid, Ocean, or that would be like 10 years from now. They could just be like, all right, nobody has to. Well, Isuzu was probably the last example of cars I ran into.
Where they
went
just
bankrupt,
gone.
and then customers still needed support on the cars, and they're like desperately calling, like, I need help, I got a warranty or something like that, and we're like, the Chevy dealer in Decatur bought the Isuzu, rights, and they get all the responsibility and privilege of that, right?
Yeah. And previous, when you look at it, like my parents they bought a Saturn in 2008, and bought a Saturn.
That was a GM though,
and that's the saving grace is that it's like, oh, you can still take it.
Yeah, because Dennison and Pekin did Saturn service.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they just said that's the local Chevy dealer. Like, yeah, we'll take it. We'll
what a scam that was back in the day.
It was unfortunate. And same thing happened with Pontiac and Oldsmobile and everything else.
Yeah.
So, but the Tesla situation's interesting. 13 years on average. So, if you're keeping your Tesla for that long, and you got some miles, you're using it, you are going to start having things like water pumps. You're going to have all these little, kind of ancillary things. Hopefully not big things.
I don't know anybody so there was a time where I knew service advisors and service managers at the Tesla store in Bloomington, and I knew guys across the country who were doing the Tesla gig, but a lot of them bailed. So I don't know what it looks like when you walk into a Tesla service center now
today.
And what if you have an 8-year-old Tesla and you're out of warranty? What happens?
Let us know. info@throwinwrenches.com. Love to hear from you.
Yeah, I would love to hear a story.
Yeah. Because I obviously,
I'm not looking for horror stories either. I mean, if you want to tell me a great experience, I would love to hear how it goes.
Yeah, just curious about it.
And so you have an extended warranty, it's covered. That's great. What if you don't have an extended warranty? Is it like so cost prohibitive? You're like, I'm out. I don't want to own this car anymore.
Yeah, out of pocket.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this too. That's become, and this could be a whole other section in another show, but like the extended warranty.
Yeah.
That video we saw, the guy today complaining about dealership stuff. He's like, we bought this, we bought extended warranty, we got this and that. And I'm like, are extended warranties still commonplace nowadays with the price of everything?
Guess who just bought one on his wife's car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I buy them.
Yeah.
You'd be crazy. Here's the thing. If you buy extended warranty, you fix your car. You enjoy your car 100% more when it's running like it should because you fixed everything.
Yeah.
And when you go to trade the car in, it's worth more because you fixed everything.
Because in theory, it's been kept up.
Exactly. So, and guess what I just saw the other day? I think I told you guys this, $20,000 transmission on a Grand Highlander. If you don't buy the extended warranty, and I don't care what it is, whether it's a Toyota, whether it's an Audi, whether it's a Chevy, and you plan on keeping the car longer than the 3-year, 36,000 miles, you're absolutely a lunatic.
Yeah. It's just the stakes are too high.
They are.
$20,000 for a transmission. That's a lot.
If you're buying a 2010 Tacoma, don't get the warranty. Who cares?
Yeah.
But if you're buying a 2026 Tacoma, buy the stupid warranty.
Yep.
Because you don't. I mean, unless you have money to burn, but you don't. I call it cost or repair inflation. You don't even realize between the parts and the labor. Oh, man. You have no idea what repairs cost anymore.
I see this all the time with body shop stuff, right?
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, I got a little parking lot fender bender on the bumper. That'll probably be like $500-$600.
$3,000.
There's no way. There is no repair.
Yeah.
No repair now.
Any front bumper is $2,000. And you're right. It used to be like $650. It used to be like $500.
And it's funny when you take them to the body shop. The guys everywhere, and I never had the work done. I was, hey, give me an estimate. We can blow some color in that. You can blow a little color on there. That's what they kind of spot match it and blend it and do their thing. You can't do that now.
No. First off, no guy wants to hang himself out to dry to deal with the customer who might not be happy with it. So what's the point? Because most people don't understand that repair.
They'll shoot the whole panel.
Exactly.
Recalibrate everything.
Yeah. And then State Farm says, we're only going to pay you this much. We're going to send you a used part. Your margins in a body shop are so terrible right now because of the insurance companies.
Oh, yeah.
And what they only will let you charge like $55 an hour if you're State Farm. How do you find a guy? You're going to find a guy for like $25 to $30 an hour who's the best, who can paint, and that's an art. That's not just like some
100%.
slob comes out of ASE school or something like that, and all of a sudden can like paint and have no imperfections, right?
No.
No.
Especially this stuff where it's like 3-stage paint and you got the gold base coat and all this stuff. Yeah.
And what always happens in every good body shop, you start off with a couple guys who are making $20, $25 an hour. They're brilliant, they're awesome, and they realize really fast they could be making a lot more money if it were their shop, and they could be making $50 an hour, doing it for themselves. And that's when they bail. They leave. Once they get trained and they know how to do it, they realize they make much more money. Toyota pays us like $75 an hour for warranty claim paint.
Okay.
And that is top of the market.
That's decent.
The body shops know that's a good price, and they love doing the warranty work for Toyota. Because, like I said, whenever State Farm shows up or Allstate or Geico, they're not getting paid that much. And they're probably getting an aftermarket part that might have been wadded up in a box somewhere.
Right.
May not even hold the paint right or the primer right.
Here's the other part. Long story short, any of those sheet metal parts, door skins, things like that, or just replacement fenders, they're corrosion resistance. They got that crappy E-coat. So they'll look shiny and pretty on the outside, and 3 years later it's rusting from the inside out.
Or they're used. That's even the best when they send a used part. Yeah. State Farm's like, oh, we got a used door, we'll send you. Yeah. Seriously?
Sure.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Are we talking about State Farm here? Or are we talking about Geico? Honestly, I can't even tell the difference between those companies anymore. It's bad. It's really bad.
It's that good, huh?
Yeah.
How about Liberty Bibbity? Just kidding.
I never deal with them.
No,
so I don't know. I never had an emu stop by the store.
Then emu.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's just
emu.
Anyway, all right. Let's get back to more serious news.
Yes, local
news.
You got this?
Sure. This
we have a counterpoint on this one. So when you read this, I have a follow up on it.
Jane? No. Okay, so this is little Dan Aykroyd. This just in from our neighbors to the east out in Bloomington. Actually, normal. Rivian CEO makes $403 million. And where did this come from? Which attribute this article to? Is it like Automotive News? Anyway, Rivian CEO RJ Scaringe made $403 million last year, given the EV company's financial results and the fact that the stock is down to the point it has ruined the investment of long-term shareholders. That seems excessive. Scaringe received $73.5 million in option awards, more than $26.6 million in stock awards, or about $1.12 million in salary, according to the Rivian proxy. Compensation Committee of Sanford Schwartz, Chair, Karen Boone, and Jay Flatley should be fired or voted off the board. Ooh, who said that?
I don't know. But Yahoo, it's actually from Yahoo Finance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like Voice of the People thing or what?
I don't know. It's actually an article.
Okay.
So then I found another article from the RivianTracker.com, which is just a bunch of shills for Rivian. And to back up just 2 feet, Rivian's in our backyard. Rivian's an auto manufacturer knocking out electric vehicles in Central Illinois, hire a lot of our friends and family, and we certainly want to see them succeed. So we're not here to skewer Mr. R.J. Scaringe, but he's refused our opportunities to be on our show and talk about it. Anyway, but this article came from Rivian Tracker, and it says, almost every story you read this week about R.J. Scaringe getting paid $403 million is technically correct and meaningfully misleading at the same time. The number comes straight from Rivian's proxy filing. The SEC requires that this be disclosed this way, but not money. It's not money that hit RJ's bank account in 2025. Most of it's paper value tied to the stock options that only pay off if Rivian's roughly 9 times from where it sits today over the next decade. Here's what actually happened, Daryl Scott.
Oh, well, let's hear it.
The $402 million figure is built on a $373.5 million in stock options, $26.6 million in stock awards, and $1.12 million in salary, and a $1.02 million bonus paid when fully vested RSUs at 15.1 share per. So when it gets to 15.10 per share price. Only the salary and the bonus are real cash or near cash. So $1.1 million and the and the $1.02 million. The $373.5 million is a grant date fair value for the performance award, which is just an accounting model estimate of what the options would theoretically be worth if everything goes right. If Rivian sits at $15 for the next 10 years, that $373 million turns into zero. RJ doesn't see a dollar of it unless the stock climbs to at least 40, and he pays $15.22 per share to exercise that.
So right now, it looks like the stock is hovering around $15.50 a share, give or take. That's up a little bit more from a year ago. It was like 13. It was 18 for a bit. Like it's been hovering around that same amount. But the big news that Rivian had in recent weeks was they actually did the commercial launch of the smaller R2.
Yeah.
Which that's been on the back burner for a while. Everyone's been waiting for it. Mm-hmm. Finally kind of made it through all the testing and all the auto show circuit, and they're rolling off the line now. So they expect about 60-some thousand of those to be in consumers' hands in the next year.
Yeah.
I think there's built-up demand for it.
Absolutely. It's a small SUV. It's a small EV, and everybody says that the smaller EVs at the lower cost, which they said they're going to keep around $45,000,
that's
is where people want to be. So
mm-hmm.
I think that's probably a fair assessment. I mean, Toyota's selling more of their EVs in the $30,000 to $40,000 range than they ever have. So and the tax incentives from the federal government are pretty light too. So nobody's going to want to spend $75,000. Dude, I see the Hummers. What was that model? The Hummer. I see them sitting everywhere.
It's funny.
Think of the people who paid for those things.
Yeah, $110,000, $120,000. No, there's dealers. A lot of dealers are driving them as demos, permanent demos, because they can't sell them.
Yeah,
and they're like, well, just plug it in at the same thing. Plug it in and
2-ton EV. The car made no sense whatsoever when it came out.
And they're hideous. I hate to say that. Yeah. Sorry, folks. I can even defend the H2 at some level as a product of its time. Mm-hmm. I mean, Tony Soprano eventually had one. Anyway,
Arnold Schwarzenegger driving an H1 with a cigar to like movie openings. Like, okay, it was kind of cool.
It's kind of neat, yeah. But the new Hummer truck, I was like, nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for this. I'm still waiting for the R3. I want that little R3. That I say little. It's a little crossover thing. I like it because it looks like a little Lada Niva, or it looks like some sort of all-wheel drive Golf.
Yeah, no, I agree. It looks
cool. Killer.
Almost looks like the oh god, what was the Pacer? No, not the Pacer.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, no, what was the
Eagle?
AMC
Eagle.
Was it the Pacer? They had the rounded hood and the bulbous back end.
No, it's a Pacer. Yeah,
okay,
the Pacer.
Right, yeah.
But setting up like an Eagle or something on an all-wheel drive chassis. So I think that thing is cool. The R2 is neat, but give me the R3, and I want to pay $40, $45 for it. So that'd be great. And what do we got going on now?
It's time for your moment of
Musk. Oh man, you know what? We haven't talked about this guy in a while. Elon Musk sent a shocking message on 401ks and Social Security. This comes from TheStreet.com. Most financial advisors say the same thing: save early, save consistently, and do not leave money on the table. Elon Musk has a different message, and it's one that millions of Americans find either liberating or deeply alarming, depending on how you choose retirement. He said plainly in a podcast earlier this year, and this advice he gave runs completely counter to virtually every financial professional's recommendations, that the reason he gave for it is unlikely anything you'll hear from a financial planner. Don't worry about squirreling away money from the retirement for 10 or 20 years, he said on Peter Diamandis' podcast. It won't matter. His argument is built on a specific prediction that the near future, by 2030, he believes AI will surpass the intelligence of all humans combined. He also expects humanoid robots to eventually outnumber people on Earth, and in the world he describes, traditional work disappears, scarcity fades, and the link between savings, working, and living will no longer apply, according to Fortune. And that is your moment of Musk.
I think so.
You got me, Gabe? All right. What do you think? Well,
2030? Remember with the whole 2030 thing with cars? They were like, oh, that's the date, and then they backpedaled.
I guess that's when we're going to retire.
So
maybe will they backpedal on that too?
2030 is the end of civilization, or just when computers and AI takes over?
I need to get like that documentary out that Orson Welles did with Nostradamus. When I was a kid in the 80s on HBO, it was like Orson Welles, he read through like all the predictions of Nostradamus.
In like his ominous voice.
There's got to be something in there about Elon and my 401k, right?
Maybe. You know what? All this talk, and it's, by the way, it's every industry. It doesn't matter what job you're working. AI has played a role, or is going to play a role, or is working behind the scenes to try to eliminate you. Okay? Okay, that's where we're at, people. But I keep thinking back to, remember the old Saturday Night Live sketch with Old Glory Robot Insurance?
No, I don't remember that at all.
Sam Waterston.
Okay, I think I get the gist, because that's like one of those infomercial things, yeah.
It was, and it was. I think Conan O'Brien wrote it or something. I mean, it's old. It's old.
Okay.
But it was basically a bunch of seniors, unlike an AARP or Liberty, whatever, the Colonial Life, that's what it was.
Yeah, Colonial Penn.
Colonial Penn,
yeah.
with Ed McMahon or whatever. It was like, you need to buy robot insurance, because robots take over and steal old people's medicine for food. And it's like, it looks like the Lost in Space robot coming in. Okay, so it's very comical. Great bit. It's on YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah.
But I keep thinking about that, and I'm like, eventually, like, somebody still has to do work to make money to pay for all this tech.
Yeah.
Somehow. Like, nobody gets fat. Nobody gets paid. Even the tech bros, like our buddy Elon. Nobody gets paid unless somebody's making a living.
Yeah.
It can't work any other way. So all this great stuff, all this great technology, all these things, the future state, it's somebody's still got to be the underlying class to just like work in a coal mine. And
I mean, Elon's making cars. He's got to have people making money to buy cars, right?
I would think.
Yeah.
It doesn't
they can't
work
just be
anywhere.
sitting on their couch with universal income. They can't afford. I wouldn't think they could buy a new Model X.
Probably not.
Yeah.
And where would you go? Because you don't have a job.
Yeah.
Because the computers replaced you.
Exactly. And everybody else was going to the same resort as you, because they're all getting paid the same amount, right?
Are we going to go to Mars like in Total Recall? Is that really what's going to happen?
Only if my eyes can like bug out like Arnold.
You didn't think you'd hear an Arnold impression, did you? But you did.
You did.
No, fantastic. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, let's make this promise. Even if we have, 2026, 2025, we've got 4 years left.
Okay.
Let's make a pact to just buy more cars, take trips, do more cool things, eat good food, spend time with friends, and never end the Cars of the Week segment, because that's really what people want.
They do. Yeah, I think this segment's been ripped off, by the way. I was listening to a podcast the other day. It was Spike's Car Radio, and I'm not telling you to listen to Spike's Car Radio, but I will tell you on the pre-show that didn't make the recording that I do listen to a lot of podcasts, and they all suck. I think. Because other podcasts, if they're not imitating us, they're definitely not doing this segment. This is where Daryl and I, we fantasize, we scheme, we dream. This car was so weird this week, Daryl. I didn't even share it with the wife.
I love it.
Yeah, okay.
I
dreamed about this car, and I'm going to tell the whole story of it. But if you have friends, I hope you have friends who listen to the show. Daryl and I can be your friends. If you want to share your car of the week with us anytime, info@Throwin Wrenches. We're happy to share. Todd shares that type of stuff, but there's other people out there listening, I think, as well, right?
Of course.
So if you find a car and you find it online and you love that car, then you share it with us, you share it with your wife, and then she shoots you down and she says, I'm not letting you buy that. The refrigerator's broken, and we need to spend $2,000 on that. That's Cars of the Week. All right, here we go. My car of the week, Daryl.
It suddenly hit home. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I this car is on Cars and Bids. And I will say Cars of the Week now with Cars and Bid.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cars are going pretty decent on that website. Have you watched this at all?
Yeah, in terms of selling price?
Yes.
They're not bad.
They're not. So Pat Ford actually bought a car. He bought a Honda Accord, like a 1991. Did you see the TikTok I did on at the dealership?
No.
Okay. He found a 91 Honda Accord with like 100,000 miles. In mint condition, he bought it for like $8,000 on Cars and Bids. And so I started watching Cars and Bids, and then this car comes up. Now, I want to tell you folks, I walked in the door the Forts Toyota 1996. I was a bit of a Toyota nerd, and I really, I didn't know enough about Toyota, but I knew what was cool and what wasn't. Well, the 50th anniversary of the Toyota Model AA happened in like 1997, and to commemorate this, Toyota came out with the weirdest car.
It's true.
It wasn't a classic car, but they took a truck platform. They took a Helix platform. They took the inline four-cylinder, and they made a rear-wheel drive, like classic-looking car with bulbous fenders. But the irony of the whole thing is when you look at the interior of this car, which I don't know if you did that or not.
I'm looking at it now.
The interior looks like a 1990s Toyota or Lexus. All the buttons and the switches are screaming 1990s. All my Celicas look exactly like this on the interior on the dash. It's a riot. It's a right-hand drive car, and let me tell you a little bit about it, folks. It's the 1997 Toyota Classic. It's finished in the burgundy and black. It's got like this burgundy side body, and it's got black fenders. It's got like the classic chrome grille and the what do you call those kind of lights when they're sitting out like that?
Well, just lights that sit on the fenders.
You don't have like a name for them in your classic cars?
Not really.
All right. It's a classic. It's one of 100 units. I did not know there's only 100 units built of this, because now I feel like I should have bought it. It's a... Toyota released the Classic in 1996 on the Japanese market to celebrate 60 years of the AA, the first mass-produced car, part of the Toyota Excellence Conversion Series project. The Classic featured retro styling and underpinnings borrowed from a Helix truck. An in-house coach builder, Toyota Technocraft, built 100 units of the Classic, and none were sold in the American market. It has a 2-liter, 4-cylinder engine rated with about 96 horsepower, 111 pound-foot torque, and the output is sent to the rear-wheel drives versus a 4-speed automatic transmission. The thing was, this is really just a truck underneath. I imagine this thing drives like a truck. It probably drives like an FJ Cruiser down the road. It's got 13-inch alloy wheels. It's got leather upholstery, wood grain interior, air conditioning, cassette and CD players. There's a known flaw, and this is kind of cool. One thing they put on Cars and Bids is known flaws.
Oh.
The date code on the tires, Daryl?
Yeah.
2013.
So it's a museum piece.
Yeah, it is a museum piece. Now, when I first saw it, it literally started at $10,000 on the bid. It was in the East Coast, which makes me think it was bought. You can find these every once in a while on Cars from Japan. I think somebody probably bought it on Cars from Japan, shipped it to the East Coast, and it was sitting there. And
like Baltimore? Is that what they shipped to or something? Okay.
Yeah, and I think ultimately this car went for like $15,000 or $16,000. It's so cool. It's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I just can't I can imagine a lot of driving that thing around, because I drive 90s Toyotas.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a whole lot about this car that would let me down.
Same motor as, the Helix or whatever. Is it a Tacoma?
It's a 2-liter.
Basically.
No. So in that year, Toyota had a 2.4-liter for the smaller 4-cylinder, and they had a 2.7-liter for the bigger 4-cylinder for the truck. So this 2-liter... which I'm sure you can get all the JDM stuff for it.
Yeah.
I mean, what could be wrong with it? It would have maybe a valve cover gasket, tube seals. I would think that 2-liter's probably got a timing cover. It's probably a chain motor, if I had to guess. So probably doesn't need a whole lot.
No, the pretty bulletproof drive line.
Output shaft seals are pretty common on the Toyota trucks, is leaking at that age, but that's easy stuff.
Did you see how many miles are on the odometer?
No.
7,500.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a brand new car.
Who would drive that thing?
I mean, you would.
I would. I would totally drive this thing.
Yeah, I could see you driving it. It's so weird, because I've seen a couple of these pop up over the years, and they're always a novelty, and I'm like, why wouldn't somebody just drive the wheels off one of these things?
I sent it to Pat Ford. I'm like...
just put it in the showroom?
Yeah.
I think
it's totally a showroom car.
Yeah, because it does command... It's one of those neat things... Years later, of course, Chrysler did it with the PT Cruiser, where you have something that looks like a timeless 30s or 40s design, but it's got all the modern stuff inside. Yeah. This is a little different because the proportions are they're odd.
They're really weird.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, like, I think about the Prowler, and I think about when they came out with those cars. You're like, oh, that's so wild. They'll never make it, and they did. But they made thousands of them. For Toyota to make 100 of these cars, you know how painful that is to make 100 cars with a custom coach builder and that metal and everything. I mean...
Yeah, that's a lot.
Exactly. These cars, they must have cost a fortune to make
I would think.
in reality.
So that's why they're even more special today. It's the fact that they probably will never make anything like that again.
No manufacturer. Show me a Ford, Chevy, Chrysler, anybody who would decide to make 100 of something. They wouldn't do it.
So I think you should put a bid in on it.
It's already over.
Okay. Oh,
but the fact is, these do show up every once in a while. And I really think this comes down to people in the United States don't even really know about this car. I think I was reading USA Today as a salesman back in the 90s on the showroom floor. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. We'll never get that.
Yeah.
And then I saw it pop up. I'm like, oh, I know about this car. And I remember these. So
yeah. No, it would definitely stick with you.
I'm the nerd that needs that car, I think.
Excellent choice. If you had a spare 25 grand?
No, it was 15, I think.
See?
Here, I'll go to
practically a bargain.
Here we go. Cars and bids. Total sold for $28,500.
Oh, that's okay. That's pretty strong money.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Is ended, and yeah. All right. I think if I went to a car from Japan, I could buy it cheaper than that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, keep your eyes peeled. You never know when another one might pop up on our shores here.
Yeah. Anyway.
Excellent choice, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I felt really good about that one this week.
Solid. I actually went...
Look at you.
I went a weird route. The other day, for some reason, I've been looking at Monte Carlos for sale. Now, when I grew up, Monte Carlos were, something like my former uncle Eddie had a Monte Carlo. And
Eddie Scott?
No, he was on my mom's side, married into the family. He was a pipe fitter. He had long hair. He's from Canada.
Nice.
He probably smoked, drank Molson, XXX.
Did you let you have beer before you were 21?
I did, actually. I think I did. Cool guy. But he drove a Monte Carlo. And when you looked at him, you're like, yeah, that tracks. Like, Monte Carlos, and even the Monte Carlo Super Sports, they had a type, right? It was the guy who went to the Van Halen concert but wasn't a total, burnout. He was kind of, he was kind of a cool guy.
Yeah.
But also you were like, I don't know. You didn't want to admit you were friends with them sometimes. Monte Carlo owners are different. When I grew up,
there's like a nervousness to your.
I'm trying to
reverence
skate around this because I'm going to offend somebody. I just remember there were two Monte Carlos when I was growing up in high school where I saw one guy. It was in a neighborhood where my then girlfriend lived. One of the guys in the neighborhood lived in a cul-de-sac and kind of a cool house, and he had it was like a goldish with a dark brown top. 73 Monte Carlos with a 454. And it was a really nice paint job, had the rally wheels on it, and it just sat in the driveway all the time. And I'd drive by it every once in a while. I'd drop girlfriend off, drive through. I'm like, Monte's still there. That's kind of a cool car. And it always caught my eye. You ever drive by something where you're like, that's sharp. I like that.
Yeah.
Not like I got to have one, but it's like, that's nice looking. Yeah. Respect.
Dig.
Yeah. Well, my senior year, that car met its demise with a telephone pole.
Oh.
And I heard through the grapevine it was some sort of a under the influence kind of thing where the guy crashed the car. And it sat there for a couple of days, and then it disappeared forever. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. Fast forward a couple months later, another kid in high school got one. Similar. 73 or 4. I can't remember what year. Similar color. Almost not the same car, but similar. I said, you know what? That's a nice-looking car. Forgot all about it. And then the other day, one of these popped up for sale. I said, okay, well, that color's a little hideous, but it's a 70s color. It kind of works. And
oh, no, it's a great color.
I looked at the lines, and I'm like, that's 73 Monte Carlo, 73-4. That's still a damn nice car. So if anybody remembers, Monte Carlo came out in 1970.
No, nobody remembers that.
Of course they do. It's based on the Chevelle chassis. So it was actually a kind of an intermediate car. And nice looking, but a little more formal, a little more like a Grand Prix or a Riviera, your personal sport luxury coupe. Mm-hmm. But the 70s, they kind of took off, and they became kind of their own thing. And in 75, they had those stacked headlights, those big, gross,
Because I'm looking at the single headlights on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, if this were Riviera, would have the flip-ups or something like that?
Yeah, they have quad lights. They'd be longer. 75, they went to the ones, and they sold more of these. I don't know why, because I think they're ugly. 75, 6, and 7s have these quad lights stacked on top of each other, a little more intense body work and stuff, and they don't have that beautiful tapered tail light with those kind of inverted tails. They're not as sleek. I think they're a little more gaudy, but they sold more.
Stacks. Because my mom had a Cutlass Supreme, like a 75 or 76 Cutlass Supreme.
Okay.
And it kind of had similar like headlamps like that.
Similar, yeah. And actually, in that era, that was one of GM's, I think, the best-selling car in the U.S. was a Cutlass for like 75, 6 or 7.
Yeah, we loved that car. When she got rid of that car, we were so sad.
You're like brokenhearted.
Yes.
I mean, it was a cool piece of time where you have this full-size, pretty much a full-size car, big 20-foot long doors, all this room to yourself. These are neat because they also had swivel bucket seats, so you can get in and out of the car. Cutlass has had this too, where you could have, I don't know if it was an option, but you open the door, it was easier to get in. You could swivel the seat like a recliner, get in, swing your legs in, the whole seat, and then locks into place, and you're good to go. This is it's called Oasis Green. I don't know, whatever. Iris. I don't know, who the hell knows what that is. But it's a metallic pea green with a white vinyl top, 73 Monte Carlo coupe. And it's got original paint, 79,000 original miles, beautiful color combo, swivel buckets, white vinyl seats, those big strato bucket seats. And it's a nice numbers matching 350 car. You could get a 454 in these things, which would be overkill. But by 73, they weren't making that much power anyway. So it just...
So Google AI says it's irid is short for iridescent, so it would be irid.
Oasis Green Iridescent.
Yeah,
beautiful. It's 350 automatic, power this, power that, factory air conditioning. It's got a nice console with this big shifter in it. Nice running and driving Monte Carlo, goes straight down the road. According to the listing, it's down in the St. Louis area at a car dealership. Now, we were talking about cars and bids being, nice, reasonable, but possibly this car, your Toyota you looked at, was bought earlier.
That jumped. Yeah, I was shocked by that price because I watched it 2 hours before it ended. It was still in 15, yeah.
So I found this Monte Carlo, bless you, this Monte Carlo listing on classic.com.
Excuse me.
And what they do is they actually track sales history.
Oh, nice.
And they track like market trends and stuff. This puppy, I actually searched around, and this had been bought and sold 3 separate times in the last, since 2025, basically.
Really?
Yeah. And so this dealership, actually, it was at a Mecum auction. I'm sorry, a GAA auction in 2024, July 2025.
What's a GAA?
I think, is it a government auction?
Okay.
Maybe a GS? Oh, that's GSA. I don't know. It's some sort of auction, I think. Then it sold in September of 25. It originally was sold for $14,500 at an auction, $23,900 in September of 2025, and then sold again in January 2026 for $19,800.
Wild.
In Kissimmee at a Mecum auction, which is lower than, somebody lost $5,000. And now it's for sale in St. Louis for $25,800. And I don't know, maybe it needed some sorting out. Maybe it looked nice, but ran and drove poorly. Who knows? Or maybe just dealers are making some money and marking it up. Yeah. But if you look at the trends, somebody lost a little bit, somebody made a little bit. I still think these are solid buys. I don't think I'd pay that much for it, but...
It's a lot of money for a classic GM car like that.
It is.
When the body's that clean, I think the price kind of goes off, right?
Off the charts.
Yeah.
Because here's the other part about these. The reason you don't see 73s is because the metal wasn't great. They weren't built very well.
Yeah.
GM had a big strike in 70, big UAW strike in 72. So build quality and consumers were already starting to be like, I don't know about this stuff. So they're kind of starting to walk away from the big three already at this point. I think this is a prime example of why people walked away, because if you look at it, it is, in some ways, it's a beautiful car. In other ways, it's a hideous car. But I like this because it, like you said, it's original. Yeah. It hasn't been messed with, and it's a survivor.
It's got great lines, great colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clean. If
you rolled into a Cars and Coffee or a local cruise-in or a show with this, people would be like, damn, man. And it's another one of those, I always like cars that look, like color-wise and style-wise, you could have a child be like, what kind of car, when do you think this car was made? Oh, that looks like it's from the 70s. You could just look at it and be like, that's a 70s car. Yeah. Just like the aquamarine or turquoise 50s cars.
Yeah.
Or like the muscle cars of the 60s,
you drive big cars like this all the time. I think, like, if I were hopping in the driver's seat of this thing and, like, giving it gas, I just feel like the body roll and the back dip because I give it gas, right?
Yeah, it'd be like the Queen Mary. Yeah, and even as sporty as, quote-unquote, sporty as these are, they really did ride pretty good. You could get beefier sway bars, what they call the F41 suspension package, so you could actually have a car that would ride and handle pretty decent despite its size. But it's never going to be compared to, what we have today. Not a bad car. That's what I would pick. And I would just need some sort of leisure suit or like a Don Knotts, Mr. Furley, Three's Company era.
That'd be nice.
Outfit.
I'd like that. Yeah, you could do those wide wings on your neck. So from September 24 to January 26, it lost $4,000 and went 1,000 miles.
Yeah. So that tells me somebody had it. Something happened. I'm done with it.
I don't know.
Maybe
you
not.
drive the car and with the FJ Cruiser, we just watched the market on these guys. It's it was high 6 months ago. There was just an article in Jalopnik about how they've dropped because the Land Cruiser, they kind of sucked the wind out of that market. So you don't really know when you hold a car like this, you kind of hold a commodity. It's whether it's a comic book, whether it's a car. I mean, you just don't know who's out there buying them, right?
And what tomorrow's going to bring.
Yeah, and the auctions tell you exactly what the car's worth. So
yeah. We'll see.
Interesting.
Do you guys still have at the dealer? You still have an FJ Cruiser?
Yeah, we do.
The manual one?
Yeah. The green one?
Yeah, it's like a green. Yeah.
We've had it for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another show, Dan.
Okay.
All right.
To be continued. Eric, wonderful choice.
Yes.
I think you win
Thank
this
you.
round.
I appreciate that. I think I found one that's it's in my wheelhouse, but it's definitely unique. It's a little oddball. But I do like yours. I love the lines. So
thanks, man.
Good job, Daryl. All right, so everybody, thanks again for tuning in the show. I'm, because I'm not very good with this outro. There we go. Thank you.
We got music.
Yeah.
We got tunage.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Well,
so are you doing some car events this summer? You doing any off-road stuff?
I got stuff.
Okay.
I got stuff planned. We got
Okay.
we got the Two Rivers Jeep Club, like I talked about in the last show. I hope the show's out before then. That's gonna be sometime here in May. Going to go out to Colorado in June or July. Anyway, Jake and those guys, and I think Irish.
Very cool.
Jeez, Jake, Don, and Malmgren. I think that we're going to
Usual suspects.
Yeah, usual suspects. Going to try and get back on the wagon, and hopefully that Land Cruiser shows up, so we can start working on that. I was showing some people the Camel trophy trucks. I don't know if you remember those Land Rovers, like Discoveries
from
and stuff
the
like that.
90s and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I ran with a guy who was a driver for those years ago, and that camel yellow, but then I saw they have steel wheels with a camel yellow. So I said today, how about a Land Cruiser using that trail dust color, but then painting the steel rims that color? Boy, you would have thought I launched a skunk into the shop. Everybody's like, ugh!
Anti-steel wheels?
Well, anti-color match on the steel wheels with the body paint. That's the Camel trophy truck, right?
You'd have to AI it and see what it looks like, or sketch it out. I don't know. Now that you say it, I'd be on the fence. Mm-hmm. I remember how cool those things were, but I don't know.
Tall and narrow. That's going to be my goal with it.
I like it.
We're going to go high and thin.
Can afford some streams.
Yeah.
Come hell or high water.
Yeah, it should be fun. Actually, we were looking at some pictures today from Cruise Moab from 9 years ago. So hopefully next year, maybe we'll do Cruise Moab. It'd be like our 10th anniversary from when we were there last time. So
yeah, you've been doing it.
Time flies.
Well, very cool. Well, thanks again for listening. info@throwinwrenches.com if you want to get a hold of us, and we do appreciate all the folks who help make this show possible, including you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again for Throwin Wrenches. It's Eric.
I'm Daryl.
See ya.
Still got to run.
Oh, man. That beer was so good.
That's probably that's a Hall of Famer for me.
Dude, you
That's
had
delicious.
you had the Noir the last time. I mean, they make, if you buy these special throw-offs like that, which we never get those bottles here in Central.
No. The only ones I've ever seen, at one time, there was like a coconut bomb or something, and then I've had the Christmas and the birthday bombs.
Okay.
That's really it.
Yeah. These boxes I get down in Memphis, I mean, it's worth my trip to Memphis to buy. It's like, you're going to pay $70 for that? I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking paying.
Dude, I've kind of throttled back.